Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile 2, Crystal Souls. I've done a little bit more exploring of the emptier parts of the map off-screen, but for now it is time to investigate some potential skullduggery in the city of Blosk, which is not mentioned on this sign. Instead, we have the castle to the east, Patrick's Tower to the south, and Darman to the west. Here's Blosk. So, first things first, gotta do the perimeter sweep. Oh, hi! I found a thing. A shambler. It is never a good sign when your garbage starts to get up and move on its own. Oh, I must still have the good weapons equipped. Yeah, no sense in wasting a lightning rod on that thing. Can we kill it with fire? Hooray! Extreme sanitization. And some toadstools here if we wanted them. I don't know why he has to put those pesky little water features in where it would force us to leave the map. Anyway, welcome to Blosk. You meet a huge guard. She holds a steel-headed halberd at her side, and seems ready for anything. Call me Clara. Well, we have a betting pool going to see who can kill 20 Empire soldiers first, and I'm trying to win it. That answer your question? Wish you well in your efforts on that one. And now, for a total change of pace, a small child. You meet a pale little girl. She watches you with fascination. You notice she has a short, cavewood toy sword at her belt. Well, if she's armed too, maybe it isn't such a change of pace. I'm Phaedra. She doesn't take her eyes off your weapons. I'm gonna be an adventurer. She draws her little sword. Yeah, and beat dragons and slay 50 Empire bad people. I will, if my daddy lets me. He's Justin. He says he won't let me learn to use a sword for a long, long time. She waves her sword around a bit, almost hitting you in the knee. But I'm teaching myself, and if the Empire attacks, I'll show them. Good for you, kid. So do we just have a little inner-outer wall set up? Okay, cool. Probably makes the defenses a bit easier to manage. Or more effective. Huh. I'm looking at my map here, and one of the statues does not have an icon on the map. Statue friendly, as opposed to regular statue. How odd! You've seen paintings of people in which the eyes seem to follow you, but this statue's eyes are definitely following you. The statue stares at you. The statue continues to stare at you impassively. The guard might think we're a little nuts. But if I remember correctly, the Empire password was worms. The statue speaks. Greetings, agent. You have your directions. Act on them soon, or things will go very badly for you. Also, we've been losing important papers lately. Be sure everything we give you ends up in a brazier. Praise the Empire. That is all. I'm sure this part is very fun for everyone to watch, as I indulge my compulsion to reveal all of the map that I can, without actually saying anything of interest. You meet a tall, skinny man with a long rapier hanging at his side. He watches you warily as you approach. He nods cordially. I am called Leaf. Another familiar face from the previous game. He shakes his head. I'm sorry, my friend. I have no time to talk. Well, perhaps someone will suggest something we can ask him about later. Also, Blosk seems significantly better developed since the last game. Lots of walkways everywhere. Nice wide ones, too. And I believe I saw some signage around here. Large bronze plaque, City Hall, all are welcome. Often a good starting point when exploring a new city. Ooh, quite the large and fancy City Hall, too. A buxom blonde woman wearing a sash of office sits at the end of the table. She stares at its polished surface and the papers covering it with undisguised antipathy. She stands to greet you. I am Mayor Vicky of Blosk, high and esteemed mayor of the city of Blosk. You can call me Vicky. She plops back down again. What do you think, running Blosk in all its glory? Her chest heaves with an ample sigh. My job for the last 10 years. Before that, I was blissfully an innkeeper. Now I hold the city together and marshal its forces against the Empire. And of course, I need to use all the resources I have. That is why I sometimes seek adventurers to do a mission. There's that word again. I will be brief and clear. Blosk has a spy within its walls. I want you to unmask him, her, or it. Ask Bruce about it. He can tell you more. And when you have evidence of the villain's identity, let me know. I will do nothing without proof. She looks over at the archer sitting nearby. My assistant, when he's around. We've been working together to solve this problem. He can tell you some good places to start looking for the spy. You tell her what you have found, and she shakes her head. No, none of that is useful to me. Keep searching, and you will be well rewarded. Yeah, basically all we've confirmed is that there is an Empire spy hereabouts, and there's a statue where he's been getting orders. Or she, or they, or whatever. But we still don't know who is. You meet a heavy-set man with a chainmail jerkin and a bow slung over his shoulder. He shakes your hands. I'm Bruce, master archer and assistant to her ladyship. Well, I'm an archer much of the time. My skills are needed often enough. In addition, I have been friends with her ladyship, and have been assisting her with certain, difficulties. We often have call to use snipers and set ambushes, and when that happens, it is the archers who perform the greatest services. Okay, but you mentioned difficulties. He frowns. Her ladyship and I are trying to find a spy. We recently found papers, giving instructions to an unnamed party here to find what he or she or it could about our defenses. We have had no luck learning who this letter was addressed to. Some advice. Speak to Leith. He has been helping us in our quest. He could help you. Ask him about the search. There we go. More bookshelves. But nothing on them. Nothing in that brazier. No papers there. And Leith has moved elsewhere, of course. Hall of Learning. Yet another training hall, and yet another trainer. I like that this one is laid out kind of like a lecture hall, though. A small, powerfully built Moor takes a group of archer trainees through some rather grueling muscle-building exercises. As they puff and moan, he comes over to speak with you. Welcome to this place of learning. I am Oliver. Knowledge is what we offer here, in return for gold and effort. And knowledge is what you'll need, so near the front. Yes, just to the north are the Empire lands. Their army is not there at the moment, but their patrols and raiding parties are in firm control. If you plan to head north, sharpen your sword and strengthen your mind. He turns for a moment to heap abuse on his trainees. Another conspicuously placed brazier. With nothing. And a wandering priest. You meet a large, affable man walking about the city and, seemingly, enjoying looking at everything. If he wasn't wearing priest's robes, you'd think he was mad. I am Justin. Welcome, my friends. I am Justin, priest of the Temple of the Flying Spirit. I'm not usually there, though. It seems a shame to be cooped up in a musty shrine when there is so much beauty outside the door. Beauty? Where? Yes, beauty. We of the Flying Spirit are wanderers, travelers, determined to see the world and appreciate it as best we can. For example, I soon plan to shut up the temple and take a jaunt down to Patrick's Tower. Some distance to the south, and led by the venerable and wise Patrick the Archmage. It is the center of learning and knowledge for all of Exile. If there are things you wish to find out, where better to go? He starts looking around again. This is a beautiful place, you know, filled with much ugliness, true. But if we don't also appreciate its wonders as well, who will? You know what? I agree. I think the caves would have a lot of beauty, even with all the struggle. Okay, temple is in the southwest corner of town. Nobody there now. Best not waste your time going. How did... Okay, I'm not sure if he'll actually talk about his daughter here. Probably does in the remake. The sign simply has 3 books painted on it. Books! I love books! There is a young, severe-looking woman with long brown hair tied up into a tight bun. She nods solemnly to you as you enter. My name is Saffron. She looks slightly embarrassed about that fact. I don't see why, it's a lovely name. Unless she's embarrassed about sharing a name with a fort nearby. I'm working as a sage at the moment. I'm going to learn to be a mage at the tower. There's no space for new students now, so I'm earning money by doing identifications. I'm pretty sure I can use at least one of those. Aha. A okay bow, a goo bomb, and more bronze arrows. And another pretty good bow, though I've only got the 1 archer, so I'll probably sell it. This carved onyx plaque says, Shrine of Shadows. Ooh. This sounds interesting. There is a person in heavy black robes kneeling before the altar. His or her face is completely obscured by the hood. Never mind the white robes and the sprite, we just needed to show that he's some kind of priest. I am Mondrian. It's a male voice. He doesn't turn his face from the altar as he speaks. I am the priest of secrets. His head doesn't turn as he speaks. We are all people of secrets. Secrets we keep because we want to or we must. And when people find it hard to hold their secrets inside, they come here for strength. Strength to continue to hide what they must. They confess their secrets to me, and I give them the strength to keep them, to keep their privacy. Because people are defined as much by what they don't say as what they do. But I sense you have no things to confess, so I ask you leave me. And of course he will not tell us anything about who or what may be spying around here. Okay, that empty space is just wall. Sign reads, The Patsy Arms. There is a tall, thin blonde woman working busily behind the counter. She's doing her best, considering that she seems to be drinking one mug of ale for every mug she serves. Welcome, welcome. I am Patsy. Welcome to my alehouse and inn. Well, we can give you a poor room for 5 gold and a fabulous room for 15. Depends on whether you want to be eaten by lice, eh? Also, we have the finest grog in the Great Cave, only 5 gold a round. Am I going to regret this? She takes your coins and serves you up some powerful, somewhat drinkable mushroom ale. Lousy or fabulous room? Or do you want some lovely grog first? I don't particularly need a room right now. You meet a sad-looking woman. She turns to speak with you, although she doesn't seem pleased by the prospect. She has a flute at her belt. My name is Alessandra. I was a traveling musician, but not of late. Lately I've been staying with Leith. Another traveling musician. Without words, she pulls the flute from her belt and plays a long, soft, elegant tune. She plays it sadly and flawlessly. Then she returns her flute to her belt. Thank you. I get little chance to travel and play. Empire raiders are too common. I am happy to support a few wandering bards and minstrels. But you mentioned Leith. I'm kind of looking for that guy again. My dear, dear friend. That is why I'm so worried. He was more a sage, but lately his work has grown very dangerous. He's trying to find a spy living in Blosk. More than that, I cannot say, although I fear such work is very dangerous. Nothing suspicious in the inn. Although Sometimes you get a message from staying in an inn room and sometimes you don't. But seeing as I am at full health right now, I'll pass. The sign reads, Eddie's Eatables. The counter here is covered with food, lots of it, and booze, lots of it. Behind all of it reclines a heavy-set woman with long, frizzy brown hair and an imperious look. She smiles in a mildly sincere way. Hello, darling. Welcome to my humble little shop. You can call me Eddie. She lurches forward. Look, darling, look at all of this. I have the most fabulous rations in all of this stinking hole. Fabulous rations are surprisingly reasonable in price. She jumps up in fury, taking a bottle of ale along to steady herself, and swings the door open. Look at all of this! Just look at it, darling. Mold and fungus as far as the eye can see. No shops, no culture. Just little gross things every bloody where. And the Empire, they did this to me. Sent me into this exile, or whatever you call it. For frivolity! Can you believe it? They thought I was a parasite. Me! And annoying too, they said. Annoying! What sort of a crime is that? I mean really, darling. So they sent me and my friend Patsy down here. Bastards, the lot of them. Okay, I think if I ask Patsy about Fabulous, I will just get put into the in-room. But Eddie reminds me, I think 2 or 3 characters in Blosk here are based on a show whose name I've forgotten because I've never actually seen it. Okay, looked it up. British comedy show. Absolutely fabulous. I guess that's why they keep calling things fabulous? The sign reads, Temple of the Flying Spirit. It is, as promised, empty. Leaf, dude, where are you? Many signs. Metal nameplate by the door, Patsy. Mondrian. Bruce of Blosk. Leaf and Alessandra. I'll open these up in a bit. There you are. Believe I have to ask about search. Yes. Ah, you are on the same quest. Sadly, there is little for me to tell you. Empire spies are very good at covering their tracks. However, I have been collecting much knowledge that may be useful in the hunt. Such as? My home is in the northeast corner of town. Look in the library there, and you may find something that is useful to you. Okie dokie. Plaque by the door reads, Bartholomew and Thompson, Magical Research. Door is guarded by runes. Okay, then. A worn-down man in mage's robe stares at you apathetically. You don't feel welcome here at all. I am Bartholomew. What do you want? I am doing magical research for the benefit of Exile. I am certainly not at liberty to tell you about it, but I have magi clearance. Okay, that's all the keywords I can get from your general responses. Not terribly secure here, are we? Well, I guess the runes guarding the front door are probably enough. Summoning circle? Okay, that was surprisingly fruitless. Oh, there's another brazier. Sometimes I do forget to look in these things. But so far I'm not finding anything. time to go and check out Leith's quarters. And anybody else's I can get open. Haha. So here's Patsy. You find a bottle of wine concealed at the bottom of the dresser. It's the real thing, brought down from the surface. Tempting, but I don't think I need to get past any gremlins with insufficient booze supplies this time. In the shadows of this corridor, you think you can make out a tripwire. Three explosions. Leith, that might have been a little excessive. Maybe I will take a stay at the inn later. You find, among the empty journals and works of fiction, a sheaf of Leith's notes from his travels. One of them mentions the Wand of Koronos, used during the hunt to make the prey more powerful. Hunters often need a challenge. That refers to the Wand of Koronos, an in-game item, which you can use to make your enemies stronger, if for some reason you feel like doing that. You find a lot of books and notes on stealth and espionage. You notice one thing has been circled. Burning a paper does not make it forever unreadable. Often, an identify spell can elicit the words from its damaged surface. Interesting. You find Leith's notes on his observations. He spent some time trying to find a spy in Blosk, and hasn't had any luck. He does mention, however, that he suspects an attack on the storehouses in Almeria is imminent, and that they should be searched. I think we, already got that one out of the way. There we go. Okay, this was Mondrian. Mondrian's got torches, knife, and poison in his bed. Not exactly the most straightforward stand-up guy, is he? But he's not got anything hidden in here that we can find. Oh ho! The coals of this brazier are almost out. You notice, resting in the ashes near the edge, half a sheet of paper. It's very blackened. Okay, so Cimmerian gets charred paper. It's too charred to read. But if we try and cast an identify... Spying evidence. You eagerly read the now restored sheet of paper. Although you only have the upper half of it, it is still very valuable indeed. It says, Bruce, the info you've given us was helpful, but still not enough. To take Fort Emerald, we still need to hit it from the back. How can you get us, bit missing, or concealed by Nass? The rest is gone. Uh-oh. Somebody's not gonna like this. She reads the paper. You turn to look at Bruce, and see he has a knife in his hand. Before he can leap, however, a guard's spear pins him to the wall. Vicky says, "Thank you. You will be rewarded. I will tell the castle of the service you have done for me." Yay. Well, after that thrilling adventure, we get one step closer to possibly raising our clearance again. Hooray? Somehow I remember that being a little more exciting when I was young. Also, I could have sworn that there was more suspicion cast on Mondrian by somebody. Maybe I just thought Mondrian was the spy because of all the secrets and general air of skullduggery. Maybe he's accused by someone in the remix. That would make sense. So how about that fabulous room? Does it live up to expectations? I'm at full health, I guess so. Just to see the difference. If there is one. Nope, no message. Okay, well, that is basically it for Blosk. I think I do want to find someone to sell a few items to, but that can be the next episode. Have a good one, everybody.